Come on, you Spurs! Let's go! Semi-finals! Welcome back to another instant match reaction. Spurs have beaten Manchester United 4-3 in what was an absolutely bonkers, crazy. Nerve-inducing, stressful watch for all Tottenham fans.
It finished with a syngasm.
John, I just about got through that game. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it through that game, to be honest, at times.
Mate, I've never seen you like that before.
Honestly, I've never seen you. Emotions I went through during that game was absolutely crazy. But we are in the semi-finals. We've beaten Man United 4-3. Here with John Cooper to discuss that absolutely topsy-turvy, all the drama that unfolded during that game. Also, the draw will be happening on the stream as well. So to stay tuned for that, I will bring you when the draw happens. It's going to be happening shortly, but we'll keep you up to date for who we are drawing in the semi-finals. But John,
it'll be Arsenal.
Probably, but look. What a game of football. Taking the lead in the first half. That seems like ages ago now, the first half. I can't even remember who scored. Solanke scored in that first half.
Yeah, he did. Good anticipation.
Great anticipation, following up on a long-range power shot. It wasn't a bad game in the first half, but it was a bit end-to-end. But obviously, it didn't obviously go as crazy until the second half, where we burst into a 3-goal lead. Kulusevski with the right foot finish, and then Solanke with a brilliant striker's effort. But then we looked like it was home and host at that point.
Yeah.
3-0 up.
And we were controlling the game as well.
We were controlling the game.
They looked like they'd completely given up.
We came out flying, which we are very good at, by the way, in terms of hitting teams with quick goals, aren't we? We've seen it against Chelsea, Southampton. We've seen it many times. West Ham, Villa, like we can get one and another one very quickly. We're very good at hitting teams quick. And we came out in the second half, we did that. And we thought, all right, we've put this game to bed. United make a triple substitution. They bring on Ahmad, they bring on whoever, they brought on a triple substitution. And all of a sudden, yes, the momentum went in their way, but there was no excuse for Fraser Forster with those mistakes. And he makes two absolute, inexcusable,
apart from the second one. I mean, the second one was up there with Carrier's Champions League final.
Yeah, shocking mistakes from Fraser
The first
Forster.
one, it was a terrible mistake, but at least you could say, oh, there's a little bad there's like a miscommunication. You could argue. I'm not saying it was, but you can argue a point there. But the second one was just like a heavy touch.
Yeah,
I mean, like 3 yards from your own goal.
Allows you can see Ahmad coming all the way as well. He allows him to get as close to him.
That's public stuff, isn't it?
And Ahmad slid the ball into the back of the net, essentially blocking Fraser Forster's clearance. And then it was 3-2 with 70 minutes on the clock, 20 minutes. And with Man United piling on the pressure, momentum on their side, just brought on Garnacho as well. You're fearing the worst. You're like, how are we going to hang on for these last 20 minutes? Tottenham clearly tiring as well.
Yeah.
We're lacking options off the bench.
They didn't have many chances, though, did they, really?
Not to make it 3-3. I actually thought we defended quite well.
Yeah, we did.
I thought Dragic and Gray, they did their bit. I'm trying to think of any real moment where you could have said they could have made it 3-3. Ahmad had a few speculative shots, didn't he, which went over the bar. They put us under pressure, no doubt about it.
I thought Porro was really
was
busting a lung in that second half.
And 89th minute, obviously, we have a rare attack, win a corner for another good moment from Jack Spence. And Son.
Did he mean it?
Did he? Of course he meant it.
Of course he did, mate.
This is Sonny we're talking
Puskas
about.
Award.
He whips in a corner. The goal goes straight in, direct from a corner from him and Son. Exactly what we needed to relieve the pressure.
It wasn't a foul either, was it?
I don't think. I mean, I've seen it again.
No, it's not a foul for me.
It's weak from the keeper. I think the keeper can have a little complaint. Bergval's challenging him, but I don't know if it was a foul.
Imagine having that on your resume, letting a goal in from a corner as a goalkeeper. That's not good, is it?
It's a brilliantly whipped in corner from Son.
No, but it is. But it's not like it can't be dealt with.
No, it should have been dealt with. We make it 4-2, but the drama didn't end there. 6 minutes added on in stoppage time. And in the third minute of stoppage time, Johnny Evans beating Basuma to a corner at the near post. I think Forster could have done better with that one as well, and makes it 4-3. Tottenham hanging on for their dear lives at the end. But John, in terms of the overall,
there was just an advert for Palat. I don't know what it was. It said Palat, and it says the game is far from over.
Yeah, that's basically the story of Tottenham.
That was the slogan of that brand. That's how it felt, wasn't it?
Look, brilliant cup ties needs to be said, and it's brilliant to be in the semi-final. Yeah. But in terms of, for you, how do you assess the game? How overall do you think?
I actually think that Man United probably controlled the ball a little bit better in the first half, but they were still vulnerable at the back. I still felt we looked dangerous going forwards, and when we actually got control in the middle of the park, I felt like we could actually do something with it. And we did create a few chances. Decky also could have made it 2-0, I think, at one point, if he went across the keeper. So we were both looking vulnerable at the back. I think United were getting a lot of joy from little lofted diagonal balls, putting Porro under pressure a little bit. He was straddling lanes, wasn't he? He didn't know whether to stay more in a central position or more out wide. And they were actually they were actually walking the ball into the penalty area, weren't they, from that left-hand side, getting so many touches. And if they'd have just threaded the proper pass across, into the penalty area, they would have got onto the end. I feel like they could have definitely got to the end of one of those, but they didn't, did they? They made the wrong pass in those areas. And then second half, we controlled the ball brilliantly, I thought. I thought we were dominating the game. I thought that they looked like they'd given up, especially after our second goal, right?
Yeah,
and
third goal. Yeah,
third goal, third goal. And then Forster making those mistakes, it gave them encouragement. It gave them a bit of belief. You could see it got their tails up, didn't it? And then it made us feel a little bit more nervy. The Spursiness set in a little bit. We started to go a little bit like headless chickens, and you could feel the panic setting in a little bit. Credit to the crowd; they were still chanting, weren't they? They were still singing, "Come on, you Spurs!" And but I actually think in the last 10 minutes or so, I think the defence held out quite well. We didn't actually let them in for too many chances, did we?
No, as much as it was nervy and they were obviously the momentum was with them and it was dangerous. Not saying like they didn't look like they could score.
Yeah.
They didn't really create too many chances where Forster had to make a good save or anything like that. I actually think defensively, apart from the 2 goals they scored, which are massive errors from Forster, and then Forster actually did make a save, but at 3-0 that was from Xerxes, that header.
What about the kick?
And then he made
I've never seen
that
you were
kick.
saying you've never seen that before.
Bloody hell.
Can you imagine if he went to kick it and he aired it?
That was bloody hell.
That would have been a hat-trick,
I'd
wouldn't
have walked out of the studio with it done that, honestly. But yeah, I think...
Can you relax now anyway?
Forster, I can just about. I mean, we're in the semi-finals, so I'm absolutely delighted, but... it was an absolutely balmy second half.
Barnstorming Barney.
Madness of what happened in that second half.
They're showing the goals here.
Because I thought we'd done so well to get in a 3-goal lead. We were so clinical. In fact, we only had 3 shots in that second half. Obviously, I don't know if Son's goal counts as a shot or not, but obviously he gets a goal. And the other 2 shots were Kulusevski.
Why doesn't it count as a shot? Because it's a corner.
I guess it depends if you think he whipped it in or not. I guess it must count as a shot, right? So we scored all our shots in the second half. We only had 3 shots. But we were so clinical in that last... in that first 10 minutes of the second half, when we came out with real intent to kill off the game. We were saying before the game how important it was going to be to make sure we have a significant lead going into that last, say, half an hour, 25 minutes, because we knew Man United had some big hitters to come on. We knew that they had fresh legs as well. We knew we're on our feet as well in terms of squad selection, wherever the squad is at. So... to go into that last half an hour 3-0 was always going to be massive, wasn't it? And
here's the expected goals. Proved. Here's some stats for you.
XG, we had
0.67 expected goals.
Wow. Well, I guess the 2 goals they scored, how big were the expected goals in those, weren't they? They were big. Yeah,
but you don't expect Forster to mess that up, do you?
No, but that's why the XG is so high for them, because those 2 goals are probably both won, aren't they? They're both literally tap-ins on the goal line. So... that's probably why the XG is so high for Man United. But I actually think we were very clinical with the chances that we got. Solanke, massive credit to him because brilliant finishes. He's talking.
They're actually interviewing Solanke and Decky. I'm guessing that because are they going to give the man of the match to Decky here or what?
Probably Solanke, I guess, for a brace.
Oh, for the goal, yeah.
I actually thought he held up the ball.
Do you know
really
what?
Well. If he was one of our
he scored
players.
2. So any time a player scores 2, they generally get man of the match, right? But I actually think if you just take that away, I think Jed Spence for me was the man of the match. I thought he was excellent. So composed, strong. Knew when to burst forward, knew when to hold on to the ball, knew when to keep it safe. I just think he was brilliant. The through ball as well. Was it Solanke? I mean, the guy looks like he's been playing all season, doesn't he?
His through ball won the corner for the 4th goal as well.
Yeah.
And he actually looked a lot more comfortable than he has in previous weeks on the left back position. Well, I think he's done all right, but in this game he really stepped up and he had a difficult job with the wing backs there, and he had to pick his opportunities to go forward. But I thought he pressed really well. How many interceptions he was making in those moments as well.
When there's a question mark on a player's head, it can often dent their confidence a little bit and make them play a little bit too cautiously. But when you see him on the ball, he doesn't think that way, does he? He's actually quite adventurous on the ball. He's trying to take on his man when he gets a little bit of space. It's not like he's sort of in his shell. He actually really tries to be positive on the ball. Yeah. For someone that's been frozen out for a long, long time, he shows a lot of invention, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely. And I thought he's like another big occasion for him to start a game of football where he has a massive game for Tottenham in context of our season, isn't it? Let's be honest. We all want a trophy. And
how white are Solanke's teeth, blimey?
And for him to basically start this game, having not started many games, started on Sunday against Southampton, done really well, and coming again in another brilliant performance. I'd say probably even better than the one on Sunday. So fair play to him, and got Liverpool on Sunday, and he's probably going to be looking at another start, I would say.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
good for him.
Fair play to Jed. Brilliant
go on the Jed.
But let's
Return of the Jedi.
Talk about Dom, because I think he's going to get man of the match here.
Yeah.
2 brilliant strikers' goals, wasn't it? And that second goal was, look, is he... Oh, he's giving it to Decky.
He was giving it to Decky.
Decky's
wow.
man of
So
the match.
he scored 2 goals and he didn't get man of the match. That's unusual, isn't it?
Decky as well had a brilliant game, I thought.
Yeah.
He had a strong game. But in terms of Solanke, the first goal, brilliant anticipation in the box to make sure he's always on the move when a shot is coming in. And that's something that Solanke...
Well, we're talking about how we like that about his game, weren't we? Just before, actually, he scored that.
And he's always been very good at doing that. Some of his goals have come there. But the second goal is a goal which... I think we've seen Solanke be in that position a few times this season and not maybe go direct for goal, make that yard to get the shot off. But brilliant through ball from Spence. But so great movement from Solanke to run in behind, get there ahead of Martinez, but also presence of mind to cut inside, beat Martinez, and also get that yard against Evans and a clinical finish beyond Binder as well. And that was a brilliant striker's goal, which we need to see.
We were saying we need to see more of that, weren't we? We're actually saying like we want to see more of him where he actually creates a yard for himself in situations where he's faced with a little bit of a brick wall, was your term, wasn't it?
Yeah,
like
when he's got a barrier,
get the ball out to the side and just get a shot off. We haven't seen enough of that this season. We've seen a lot of poacher goals, fox in the box type of goals from him, but we haven't seen that kind of goal where he's actually made it for himself.
And he did so much good work off the ball as well. The amount of times he can relieve the pressure by keeping the ball and making sure that we retain possession. And look, in the last minute, he's just a focal point we can go long to, isn't he? He's someone we can aim at. And without him there, we struggle. Obviously, we get penned in a lot more. And we did get penned in a bit in this game, but I think Solanke did such a great role with leaving that pressure. And fair play to him, braced on a big night for Tottenham. And, he's been criticised for not scoring enough goals. But it's a big game, and he's got a brace on a big game for us tonight, hasn't he?
I'm disappointed Spence didn't get man of the match, to be honest with you, because I just thought that'd be really good for him. But anyway, they're showing the goals here. Maddison gets the deflection, and Decky on his right foot.
Who I thought on the right-hand side had a brilliant game. I thought he was giving Dallo a lot of trouble. Although Dallo was getting a lot of space on that side, wasn't he?
Do you remember the Rabona? he tried to Rabona pass Decky. He was getting a bit too confident, wasn't he?
But that second half, it kind of... We didn't have to have loads of chances. We just basically made the most of what we created. And that's something you're going to have to do, especially in the mode where we're in, where we know that we can't be as relentless as we want to be, can we? Because of the injuries, and we have to use the same players. So when you're like that, when you're in that mode, you have to be clinical when you get those chances. And we were, weren't we? And that's credit to the team.
I mean, a bit of fortune here for Decky's goal, because it did,
came off Martinez.
And it sat up right, perfect for him. It was good that he checked his run. He kind of held back a little bit, just in case that happened. I mean, you can see from the expected goals, and we did well, didn't we, to score 3
goals in that half. We had 2 goals we scored 3 goals in the second half.
We scored 4 goals, and the expected goals was 0.67.
Yeah, so on that basis, maybe you got a bit fortunate.
That was good. He took that
brilliant
well
from Solanke there.
Yeah.
But I guess let's talk about Fraser Forster, because
go on.
3-0 up, coasting, and we're looking like, okay, we just have to see out this last half an hour with a 3-goal deficit, and we're into the semi-finals. Up steps Fraser Forster, who just before conceding the first goal makes a brilliant save from Xerxes from a header, pushes it wide, doesn't he? One-handed save.
Yeah.
You're thinking, well done, Fraser. Big moment for him in this game, who'd been fairly quiet. But he then very nearly costs us his whole quarter-final. 3-0 up. He first picks up the ball. We're playing it short around the back. He passed it, I think, probably blindly to Dragoshin. Bruno intercepts it, squares it to Xerxes in an open goal, 3-1. You're thinking, okay, it's only 1 goal, 25 minutes, 2-goal lead, still okay, albeit it's not good to give away that goal, but it's like, is it in the context of a game going to be a consolation, or is it going to get them back in the game? He then, 6 minutes later...
The second one is just unbelievable, inexcusable. The first one you can almost understand as like miscommunication, almost, but that second one was just
shocking.
That's Sunday League.
Shocking.
That's Sunday League.
Especially when you know it's 3-1. You've just
that's
given
Hackney
away.
Marshes.
But as well, in the context of you've just given away a goal.
Yeah.
Like to do it again 6 minutes later, but an even worse situation where he's basically dawdling on the ball. You can see Ahmad is running full power at him. He's given the ball where when he's paused it when he's received the ball, there's no one around him, and he dawdles and he dawdles and he just allows Ahmad to gain the ground on him. And I know Ahmad is rapid and I know he's fast, but
Yeah,
at
no,
that
you can't.
point, you've got to just get rid. You've just got to make safety first. You can't allow Ahmad to get that close to you. And he boots it straight at Ahmad, and all of a sudden it's in the back of the net. And then 3-2 with 20 minutes to go. And you're thinking, it went from a point from we're in the semi-final to, I don't see us hanging on here.
No, I know, yeah. That's like Man City FA Cup. Is it 2004?
Yeah.
Where we're 3-0 up at home. It felt like a whiff of that, didn't it?
At that point, if you probably took a snapshot of that moment, do you think Man United automatically become favourites at that point as soon as they get that second goal?
Not favourites, no.
Not favourites.
No, I still felt as though we were going to win the game, even at 3-2.
I mean, and we did have to hang on.
That.
Yeah, I know,
I
but
shouldn't think that, but I still felt good about it.
It then turned into a completely different game, didn't it? We had to hang on for dear life. It was Man United had their tails up there. They then bring on Garnacho, and you're thinking, how are we going to hang on to this game? And to be fair.
Here we go. Are they going to show it here?
This is the first one.
This is the Xerxes
I just
goal.
say they're playing it around the back here. Forster, he's been closed down by Xerxes.
No, but you can see that Dragusin almost, you could see that. Look at Dragusin. I'm going to watch Dragusin
He
here.
doesn't see Bruno. He just doesn't see him. It's terrible. On his left foot, maybe it's because he's on his weaker foot. He panics, but he's got to be getting that away. But maybe
I also think Dragusin's a little bit at fault there as well.
In what sense?
Because Forster's already pointing his hand out, saying this is going to go to you, and then Dragusin's position's a little bit too deep.
And also, I guess the free kick, we were a bit negative.
This is inexcusable. That is. I mean,
it's like he takes an age to wind his leg back.
I mean, that's like having Eric Dyer in goal.
It's absolutely ridiculous from Forster. Look at.
How much space do you need?
Oh, it's terrible, and that is inexplicable. And I feel bad to go so harsh on him because he's actually done really well since stepping in. But this was clear evidence that. Him playing.
Vicario's happy, isn't he?
Yeah, Vicario's shout is not happy at Fraser Forster for giving away those goals.
You know what I like about this? He's angry with Forster, right? And that shows me he's a real team player. Because if he was worried about his position, he would be sort of sitting there going, "This is good for me. This is good for me." But he's actually really angry there, which shows that he's passionate about the team, which I like to see.
1 sec, and it was. But as you say. I think credit to the team at 3-2 with 20 minutes to go.
They dug in,
With Man United fresher as well, 3 subs on. We did dig in, didn't we? And we went back to that, maybe how we were defending like against Man City.
Yeah.
And we made sure that we weren't giving away any more easy chances, no more easy goals. Yes, there were times where we looked like we were under pressure, but we actually dug in really well, and we ended up getting the 4th goal. Bit of luck, obviously, directly from a corner, but credit to the team because we had to really dig in with everything we had in those last 20 minutes just to make sure we kept Man United at arm's length. And, I think we did that.
Definitely, yeah, absolutely. It was a little bit of a shame that Maddison got that yellow card because he's going to be out for the semi-final. And that happened just like seconds before he came off as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the disappointment from the game. But, yeah, you happy or not?
I'm delighted. Look, we got that goal.
When's the draw happening anyway?
The draw is going to be happening, I'm not sure.
They're going to show it here
They'll
on
show
Sky?
it on,
Yeah, okay.
They'll show it on Sky. So
all right.
We'll keep it, I'm guessing they're showing on Sky anyway, so we'll keep you updated for when.
I might put a bet on it's going to be. Can you put a bet on it being Arsenal?
I don't know if you can bet on who you're getting.
You know it's going to be Arsenal, come on.
You reckon?
Yes, they'll never let an Arsenal Spurs final.
I kind of would prefer maybe
I would love it to be a final Arsenal
I kind of
Spurs.
don't want Newcastle because Newcastle are going to be just as up for it as we are because it's just as important for them, if you know what I mean.
Well, okay, what's your preference then?
In a weird way, it might be like Liverpool. Because I think Liverpool rest players if they play against us. I feel like they're going to rest a few players. And also, they concede goals. Like they can be quite open at times. And they might rest. If they play a similar team to what they played yesterday against Southampton, I reckon we could go toe-to-toe with that team. Especially
You'd want to choose the team that's top of the league.
I know it sounds weird, but they're top. They've got the Champions League coming up on those weeks as well.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I think this will be not a priority for them.
So you'd want them at Anfield. You're still content?
Yeah. No, it's double leg. No, 2 legs.
Oh, it's double leg. Yeah, okay,
2 legs. So I feel like
But
Liverpool might like if we play Newcastle, they're coming full strength. If they're going to prioritise these games. St James's Park has never been a good hunting ground for us. I guess Anfield, St James's, and Emirates.
Come on, Anfield's.
They've all been
When's
bad.
it ever gone well there?
But in a weird way, I think obviously Arsenal. The problem with Arsenal is just the way they play is kind of perfect. It's perfectly suited for us, for them, to play against us. Like the way they sit deep and defend very well. Like I feel like in terms of defences, like we can get a Liverpool, Newcastle more than Arsenal, and we needed to play against a team we can do that too. So Arsenal over 2 legs. I don't know. I think I don't know. I just feel like Liverpool won't see this as a priority. We might have a better chance in a weird way.
I'll still take Newcastle.
I don't know. I feel like mate. Look, maybe.
But anyway,
I hear that. I think it's kind of choose your poison. But look, that is your, I guess, instant match reaction. That was an unbelievable game of football. We ended up scraping through 4 goals to 3 in what was a crazy game.